Alright, what's up everybody out there? How y'all doing? Aaron here. Yeah, we're in the summer now. It's hot as hell. But I got another deck profile for you guys. Now, okay. Always the decks that I run, of course, I am playing for fun, and I like to make my decks so creative than just a one particular type of deck that people would just use. Players would use, and it's only that one particular kind. Whatever deck they're gonna do, of course, they're always gonna have those style hand trap cards, monsters, of course, yeah. Drift Swifter, I believe that's the way it's called. Ash Blossom, of course. Yvette Veilers, Infinite Permanence. Pretty much, we know those cards. I won't play those cards because that's if you're playing competitive, which I do not. So, in this deck that I made, okay, there are no trap cards in this deck, but it's a fusion deck. Okay, everyone knows Darkworld, right? A Darkworld deck is pretty much you're not playing fusion as much. But for me, I am playing fusion because there's another type in here that I'm using. I am doing this using the Tearlaments. So a Tearlament Darkworld deck. If you get confused, alright, try not to get confused about how Tearlaments work. Of course, the Tearlaments got hit so hard, and it's pretty hard right now to possibly run a pure Tearlament. So why not run the Tearlaments with a different kind? Which I've seen other decks, yeah, they used Tearlaments with, I don't know, I haven't seen so much, but yeah, Tearlaments got hit very, very hard, and yeah, they lost a lot of their support, even their main fusion monster. But how I made this is you're going to be doing Tearlaments. So yeah, you're not running all the Tearlaments. You're only using some of the Tearlaments. So some of the Tearlaments, and you are fusing. So you're going to play a lot of fusion in here. So further ado, here we go. Remember, no trap cards. So first off, okay. And then yeah, creative is what I'm doing. So yeah, Tearlament Darkworld. It's not pure Darkworld. So first off, okay. The boss monster, of course, yeah, is your Rainbow Over Dragon. Then what it does is you can special summon this card by returning one level 7 or lower Darkworld monster from your that you control. Put it back to your hand. Special summons. It's the same thing as the, of course, not 3 but 2 of the regular grapple. When it is discarded, sent to the graveyard by a card effect. Pop one card your opponent controls, right? Target one card your opponent controls, destroy that card. Then this card was discarded from your hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect. Look at one random card in your opponent's hand. Then special summon it to the field. Basically, I'm not depending on that effect. I'm depending on the effect of, yeah, discarded by a card effect, destroy a card on the field. Opponent's monster. Same thing. You control a Darkworld on the field, and this is in your graveyard. Get that Darkworld back to your hand, special summons. Then of course, your searcher of the deck is the Darkworld Snow. When discarded by a card effect. Then search for anything that's called Darkworld. Doesn't matter. Darkworld card. Anything that's called Darkworld. Rather magic. Okay, there are some traps, but I'm not using the trap cards. So pretty much be magic or monster of anything that's called Darkworld. Then 3 Genta. Genta is when you can discard this card from your hand to search already for your Gates of Darkworld. So your searcher already send this card to the graveyard. Get your Gates of Darkworld. Your field spell for the Darkworlds. Only one brow. Discard this card from your hand. Well, it's sent by a card effect. Draw one card. Then just Alright, so pretty much send to the graveyard by a card effect, draw a card. Send to the graveyard, special summon it. Special summon. That's what you're doing. I'm not playing the effect where people would depend on, of course, yeah, the cycle way of how they play, Silva to, send cards right back. No, none of that. Just other Darkworld cards you want to have in here. Now for Tier Elements. Tier Elements, Rhino Heart. This is the Tier Elements for sending. Okay, so pretty much this is what I mean. Okay, Tier Elements, Rhino Heart. If this card is no more special summon, you can send one Tier Elements monster from your deck to the graveyard, except Tier Elements, Rhino Heart. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon it, but then leaves the field when it's sent to the graveyard. Banish it. It gets removed from play. That's fine. You can only use the following effects of Tier Element, Rhino Heart once per turn. So pretty much, summon, send away another Tier Element. Besides itself. Then there's Tier Elements Sheeran, Mero, and Handless. These were pretty much 3-3-3. But remember, they got hit and it was pretty hard. So only one of each. And to tell you the truth, this is all my Tier Elements. I'm only using these Tier Elements. I'm not using anything else. The Kashtira, not using it. I'll explain how the Tier Elements work. Handless, if it is sent to the graveyard, when your opponent activates a card effect, you can special on the field, quick effect, you can special summon this card. Discard the top 3 cards. Now it is by a card effect, but it's by a cost. If you're paying a cost, and you're sending away your Darkworlds, they don't get their effect. It's only if you're not paying the Darkworlds won't get their effect. Here's the other thing. If it is sent to the graveyard, you can use Tier Elements Handless and one of the monster or monsters to create a fusion from your graveyard. And then you will put them back to the bottom of the deck. So it's sent away. Then I'm going to show you some fusions you can do. You're going to send this card as a material, and what other you're going to need, other monster, to fuse. Merle. This card is special summon. Send the top 3 cards from your graveyard to send it to the graveyard gap. Send away the top 3 cards. Then send to the graveyard, activate Merle, and any other monsters you need in the graveyard to fuse, and those cards will be put to the bottom of your deck in any order that you want. Sheeran. During your main phase, special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. Then send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect during the damage step, you can fuse summon one fusion monster from the extra deck by placing the materials mentioned on it from your hand, field, and in the graveyard, including this card in your graveyard. So yeah, all of them are mentioned there. And only once per turn. So yeah, the Tier Elements got hit with these being put to 1 now, but that's fine by me. That's all the Tier Elements. Now since you are fusing, King of the Swamps, and only 2 dangers, Thunderbird and Bigfoot. Thunderbird. You can send this card from your hand by your randomly, reveal it to your opponent. Shuffle your hand. Then your opponent is going to randomly choose a card in your hand. If they chose Danger Thunderbird, it'll be sent to the graveyard. Destroy a target 1 set card your opponent controls. Destroy it. If they chose it wrong, if they chose a different card and it was wrong, you special summon Thunderbird, you'll get to draw one card. Bigfoot is the same exact thing, except if they called it right and it's sent to the graveyard, you get to destroy one face-up card your opponent controls. And if they chose it wrong, you special summon this, draw one card. That's the only danger. Let's go with the magic cards. So, Gates of the Darkworld, the field spell. All fiend monsters gain 300 attack. Once per turn, you can banish one fiend monster from your graveyard, discard one fiend monster, then draw one card. Remember, this is not paying a cost, so your Dark Worlds will be able to work. Even your Brow. So if you banish a Dark World, since yeah, you have to banish a fiend, you send away Brow from your hand, you will get to draw two cards, because Brow's effect, draw a card, Gates of the Dark World, you draw one card. Then Dark World Ascension is during the main phase, fusion summon one fiend monster, one fiend fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing the materials mentioned on its card. On the fusion card, what is mentioned, that's what you must banish away. So it's like a quick play fusion, but you must banish them. Card destruction. Polymerization. Book of Moons. You're gonna need some draw power, so not not one, but two Allure Darknesses. Monster Reborn, Foolish Burial, Harpy's Feather Duster, and two Raigekis. No traps. Now let's go with the extra deck now. So let's go with the tier elements first. So Tier Kranos, Tier Elementary Kranos. You need a Tier Elements Kaleidos. Now to tell you the truth, the Tier Element Kaleidos is the one that got banned. But here's how you play it though. Plus you need a Tier Elements monster. If you have a King of the Skull, King of the Swamp. Now remember, I told you the effect. If it would be sent away, a tier element. So then, you're gonna send this right back. King of the Swamp, count it as a monster. So Kaleidos. Put these right back to your hand. You fuse tier elements. Rukilios. That's how it's done. Yeah, Kaleidos, banded, but you can still use and make it with King of Skull. Yeah, or even if it's in your hand, polymerization, you can do that as well. Now let me explain the effect now. So yeah, that's how to make it. If you're gonna do the effect and send it, if you have a King of the Swamp in the graveyard to your element and it's sent to the graveyard, well then there you go. You can do that. Rukilios, whatever the heck you want to call it. Other aqua monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only use the following effects with tier elements Rukilios once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect that includes an effect that special summons a monster's quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. Then send tier elements card from your hand or field to the graveyard. And this is fusion summon. Fusion summon this card and is sent to the graveyard by card effect. You can special summon this card right back. Now my last tier elements is the Kaleido Heart. You need a Rhino Heart, so your tier elements Rhino Heart, and 2 Aqua Monsters. Your Aqua Monsters are King of the Swamp, Rhino Hearts, and pretty much that's it. Unless you're gonna use it as well. So then, I will explain Kaleido Heart. Cannot be used for fusion material. If this card is summoned, a special summon, or if an Aqua monster is sent to your graveyard by a card effect, while this card is sent to the, you can target 1 card your opponent controls. Shuffle it into the deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon this card, and if you do, send 1 tier element card from your deck to the graveyard. Only once per turn. These are the only tier element fusions. Of course, yeah, if of course they brought back Kaleidos, and I would put that in, but Kaleido Heart is too damn broken. So these and those tier elements is all I'm using. Then Grapha is the fusion. You need a Grapha and a Dark Monster. Remember, Dark so even if you wanted to, tier element Sheeran, get back your Grapha, that counts as your fusion. This is the activation of like a polymerization. So yeah, Grapha, Dark Monster. Shuffle them, put them to the bottom of your deck in any order that you want. Now, okay. Grapha, when your opponent activates a monster effect or a spell trap, while you have cards in your hand, quick effect, you can negate this effect. Then the activated effect becomes your opponent's cards by 1 card, discards 1 card. You can only use the following effect of Grapha, Overlord, Darkworld once per turn. If this card is fusion, this card fusion summoned in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect. You can special summon 1 of your Grapha Dragon that is banished in your graveyard, then each player hand discards 1 card. Flores, Chaos King of the Darkworld. Alright. This was a new one that came out when the packs came out, of the structure deck of when Yubel came out. He's not that hard, but I would just put him in. You need the rainbow one and 2 fiends. So yeah. Now what I like about him, and I would only use 1, because 1 is all you need. If this card is fusion summon, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. This card's original attack and defense equals to the number of materials used for its summon times 1,000. Once per turn, quick effect. You can target 1 card, 1 face-up card your opponent controls, discard 1 card. Also, your opponent cannot target that face-up card with its card's effects for the rest of this turn. So pretty much 3,000 attack. And it's only on that turn to destroy all cards your opponent controls. It's not once per turn. Then just Predator Plant, Starving Venom, Fusion Dragon, Gate Guardian, and then for my only, since you are making 8s, since you can make 8s, number 88, Harbinger Dragon, Titanic Galaxy, and then the Zombie Vampire. So yeah, fusion, it is fusion. So fusion, Darkworld, Tearlament. I've seen one guy do this before, but he ran it completely way different. So of course, yeah, it was using the tier, you know, the actual tier elements that I'm using. But of course, you put in the Ash Blossom, you put in all that stuff in, and you even put in the Cashier. I'm not using the Cashier. So summon maybe a bit more you put in, but that's just not me. So yeah, Darkworld, tier elements, and yeah, when I show you I'm going to show you a video how it's done. Of course, yeah, every single deck profile I do, I'll show you a video how it's done. So yeah, I thought of a bit like that seems a little confusing until I got used to what I was looking at his deck and see how it is. Oh, so that's the way you run. Okay, it's not that hard. But then just remember, if the effect of your tier elements are gonna mill cards, send cards, and any of them were Dark Worlds, that's by paying a cost, so the effect will not go. If you're paying a cost and you're sending away Dark World cards, they will not get their effect. If you're not paying a cost, they will get their effects. And yeah, it's a fun deck. No trap cards, just magic and the monster cards, and then yeah, it is Dark World, tier elements, and then yeah, you are fusing a lot. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm the artist of Strongstyle, my other channel. This deck profile on there. If you haven't checked it on this channel, you can check it out on my other channel. I do deck profiles there as well. Deck profiles I do here. And yeah, I have been playing Battlefront, so I'll do some more Battlefront for you guys in due time. And then just yeah, this is a tier elements Dark World. I will speaking to y'all later. Peace.